Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So Comic-Con is this week. Naturally, there's a whole bunch of comic book, TV show, movie news dropping. So the latest rumor is there's some very big characters from the Batman universe coming to Supergirl Season 2. So I'm going to start with like the most likely rumors going down to least likely. The biggest rumor right now is that both Kathy Kane, who you guys will know as Batwoman, and Barbara Gordon as Oracle will both guest star on Supergirl Season 2. The idea of Batman family on the CW DC TV shows is huge because previously I'd always thought that they were exclusive to Gotham because of their deal with Warner Brothers, but turns out that that's way more complicated than I ever thought. It involves this DVD release of the classic Batman series that Fox has the rights to, so it sounds like any version of the Batman character himself is exclusive to Gotham if they ever get to that point. I'm sure there's some special deal behind that too, because right now he's a little kid, but it does not include every single member of the Batman family. So I know everybody's still hoping for Nightwing on Arrow. I'm sure that that's still somewhere floating off in the distance if there's a Teen Titans show. That's never gonna happen. But the idea behind Batwoman and Oracle on Supergirl would be that they build a Birds of Prey just with Supergirl instead of Black Canary. Because the closest thing that we have to Black Canary in the CW universe right now is Black Siren. She's on Earth 2. She's still a villain, so she'll come back. But I'm only expecting Katie Cassidy to guest star maybe once this season. So future seasons to be determined. Obviously, the follow-up, or people are like, well, hey, if they're doing Batman family characters, does that mean that Batman exists in this universe? Well, they already had the Arrow Easter egg where they were giving Felicity a code name and it ended up being Overwatch. Oliver made the joke that it was going to be Oracle, but that name was already taken, meaning that there is a Barbara Gordon Oracle inside the Arrow Flash universe on Earth 1. Now, Supergirl is on a different Earth, so that's a completely different circumstance, but because they're doing Superman, they're doing Batwoman, they're doing Oracle, yes, of course, Batman exists on that Earth. But my expectations for them talking about Batman Bruce Wayne specifically are relatively low. I will be totally satisfied if they only make a single offhanded reference to someone that sounds like Bruce Wayne. They don't have to say his name. It's totally cool. You kind of understand that Batman is so complicated when it comes to TV rights and movies that you're just oh my god, I'm still so happy to be getting half of the Batman family. So, Batwoman, Oracle is really the biggest deal. Batwoman is big, but Oracle is even bigger. But you can kind of see the idea with characters jumping around. You may have heard about Captain Cold's deal. Wentworth Miller signed a deal with Warner Brothers Television to be a series regular on all of their DC TV shows. And when you hear things like that, you're thinking mostly about story, how's that going to work? What's the continuity of his character between all four shows? Or is it going to be a multiverse thing? You're thinking more about the logic, but really, from a practical perspective, it's a way for the TV shows to use them. And if they're too expensive, Wentworth Miller is a little bit more expensive in terms of the guest stars that they use. So when he becomes a series regular on all four shows, it allows them to spread the cost of their deal across the budgets of all four shows. So it's just some fancy footwork from behind the scenes. It's the producers finding a cheaper way to bring characters on the show, but in doing so, they have to share the cost across all four shows. It makes it easier for them to do really big characters that they normally wouldn't be able to afford on one single show. So also very plausible but unconfirmed is the idea that Jay Garrick would be the next character to get a deal like this. Now, I'll talk more about this from a story perspective, what would the story be if Jay Garrick were to guest star on all four TV shows in a separate Flash video. But just in the simplest of terms, think about Justice Society on Legends of Tomorrow this season. Jay Garrick, if you wonder what big story Jay Garrick was a part of on Justice Society, the short answer is every single Justice Society story. He is a founding member of the Justice Society. So if you're going to do them, you might as well do a version of Jay Garrick. But if you're thinking that all this news of, doing a broader DC universe just spread out over four different shows, a true big comic book crossover event, and you're how come they haven't done this before? This is some high-level deal-making shit going on behind the scenes. And I think from behind the scenes, from a studio perspective, they're just very cautious in doing big things like this when they haven't been proven. So it's almost like Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow kind of have to prove their word. Look at the things that we did. Now can we do the next thing? Can we do this big broader thing that we're trying to do, this big crossover thing? So the studios sees how successful they are and they're okay, you can try this new weird thing, this new weird deal, sharing a deal across four TV shows. So that's why you probably haven't heard about something like this happening before. It's also a really easy way to use the Constantine character. Now, there's a rumor about Constantine being a new TV show on the CW, but I put that rumor at like very unlikely. The latest rumor just says that the CW, they licensed all the Constantine Season 1 episodes from NBC. So a lot of people were like, hey, what does this mean? Well, it really just means that they're looking for cheap content that's also in the DC TV universe. But there's a rumor that says that they're using that as a test to see how interested people are in the Constantine character. Like, hey, if people really like the fact that we licensed these episodes, maybe we should make some more of them. So while it is somewhat unlikely that they would start a new Constantine TV show for like Friday night, so they had 5 nights of DC TV instead of just 4 nights. But really what I'd like to see is if they're going to do Constantine is just to share him across all 4 TV shows like they would do with Jay Garrick or the Batman family. Just allow him to cross over with all 4 TV shows every once in a while. So really like the big takeaway news from this, like the most likely would be a version of Birds of Prey on Supergirl, which would definitely make people want to watch it more. I would definitely be more interested in Supergirl if they were doing Birds of Prey Batman characters. And then Jay Garrick, Justice Society, crossing over with the other DC shows. So let me know what you guys think about the idea of Batwoman and Oracle on Supergirl for Birds of Prey, and then Jay Garrick guest starring in a Justice Society arc on Legends of Tomorrow. If you weren't sure, they are going to be dropping trailers for the new seasons of all the DC TV shows this week, so I'll be doing videos for each of those, but those won't start dropping till like Friday and Saturday, so be sure to subscribe to get that stuff. So there is a new round of the giveaway that starts now. There'll be DC, Marvel, Game of Thrones, all kind of giveaways happening this week, so I'll remind everyone when I post videos. But all you have to do to enter the DC giveaway is just be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. I'll be doing a flash video that'll talk a little bit more about Jay Garrick going on the other TV shows, especially Comic-Con stuff that's going to be happening specific to The Flash this week. So that'll probably post tomorrow. I still want to do a Star Wars Episode 8 video, so that'll probably be my next video. While you guys wait for my next video to post, you can click here for my Game of Thrones Comic-Con preview, and you can click here for my Wonder Woman Comic-Con preview. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.